Hi, everybody. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean. We got 1 minute before we're going to get this uh, total body Tabata inspired workout going. Recommends having a bit of a variety of weights. You're probably going to need something a little bit lighter for this first move, and you might be able to do something a little bit heavier for the rows for the second move. So go ahead, grab what you need. Also encourage you to have some water around. And if you want to put some music on so you can stay inspired and motivated and moving, do it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with a nice light little jog. We'll take our first 30 seconds just hanging out right here in our jog. And then if you need to, you can stay here if you're keeping intensity and trying to keep your heart rate low. But if you want to get your heart rate up a little bit, let's go ahead and move a little bit forward and backwards. Start really swinging your arms. Make use of the space that you have. So maybe running around in a bit of a circle. But the more that you move throughout the space, and the more that you're moving forward and backwards, the more your heart rate's going to come up. So, I love these combo moves. And the whole idea here is we're just trying to be as effective in a short period of time as possible. All right, next time you get to the back of your mat, we're going to go ahead and come into some jumping jacks. You can do a traditional jumping jack, or you can tap it out side to side. Even if you're tapping side to side, find that little bit of reach. Make sure there's a slight bend in your knees and get those arms moving all the way up overhead and below. And maybe you come into a little something in between and just kick out one side at a time. We're here for just about 10 more seconds. And then we're going to turn it into some nice high knee drives in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Find your knee drive. We're going to be kind and add in a couple steps in between too. That'll help us with the next move. So I'm taking a nice rotation of that core, 3 steps and a knee drive, step, 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 drive, step, step, step. Great. Let's get 10 more seconds right here, rotating from the waist. And now we're going to turn it into some Frankenstein kicks. So a nice straight leg kick, toes flex back to your face. Whatever height feels appropriate for you, try to keep your shoulders on top of your hips right now. Hopefully, you might notice that you're already starting to breathe a little bit more heavily than when we met each other at the beginning of class. Awesome. Let's make sure that we warm up shoulders a little bit. Pardon me as I adjust my mat. So some lateral side to side step taps, some really big shoulder rolls. Make use of the space that you have right here. One more time, shoulders in this direction, and then go ahead, change direction of those shoulder rolls. We're already a little warmed up, so really think about getting those elbows involved a little bit more, feeling the shoulders separate. Last move here for our warm up, giving a nice row with the arms, squeezing shoulder blades together, and a little glute kick back. How much can you even point your knee towards the wall behind you? So not just kicking your heel up towards your butt, a little extra movement to engage through the quad, through the hip flexor. Just about 20 seconds left right here. Start to really find some engagement through the center line. So each time that your arms go out, you don't want your rib cage to flare out, rib cage to stay in nice and tight. You're challenging yourself to make as much stability through here as possible while moving. Woo. All right, shake it out a little bit. And remember, as we get started, every day is different. How you feel, how you move today, what happens isn't just about this morning. It's about yesterday, the day before. How are you sleeping? How are you eating? How much stress do you have? What other workouts have you recently done? So it doesn't matter what I do because you're going to focus on you. All right. Move number one, I'm going to grab 5 pound weights for this move. We're going to do the same thing 4 different times. Let me show you the whole move. All right, so with your feet planted firmly on the ground and a gentle little bend of the knees and a tuck under of the pelvis, chest is nice and lifted, you'll actually roll your shoulders down and back to begin. We're gonna lift arms out to the side, to the center, and then palms face forward as you bring your arms up, and then right back down and through. All right, as we get started in this move, if you find that it is not working for you, you're just exhausted, 2 different options. Number one, grab a lighter weight or put your weight down completely. Number two, break the move down for yourself. Maybe you're just going to start with these side lat raises. And in round two, perhaps you try to add in the raise towards the front. Round three, maybe you're just going for an overhead raise back to shoulder height. And maybe round four, you put it all together. I'm going to demonstrate doing it all together. Your weights are going to dictate your pace. Let's try and keep things nice and slow, though. We start in 3, 2, 1. So we got 4 rounds, everybody. Keep your pelvis tucked under. Let's find that side raise. Bring it to the front. Bring arms up overhead. Back down to shoulder height. Open and lower. Now, as you bring your arms up overhead here, you want to try not to overarch your back. If you find that you need to overarch your back to get those weights up, that means that your weights are a little bit too heavy. So pelvis is still stretching down towards the floor, core is in nice and tight. Oh, if we could take a break. Focusing on also the whole time, really keeping things tight at the center of the body. All right, we got 2 more times through. If your weights felt too easy, grab something heavier. If you were struggling with your form, grab something lighter. Otherwise, let's stay right here and go again. Shoulders down and back, belly in, side raise, to the front. And remember, maybe you're just doing this if you're new to this class and this concept. Otherwise, we're still getting in that palms forward, overhead press, that front raise. We got a side raise, we got a front raise. And I love how we're just enjoying some different ranges of motion here than usual. Really working into those shoulders. Hello. Getting ready for winter and some shoveling. Also, getting ready for summer. All right, take your time, relax your weights back down, and take your break. 2 more times through, and then we have our next weighted move right after this. Oh, got a little bit of a cramp. Always exciting. All right, here we go. Begin again. A lot of times cramps mean that I am lacking in something that I need. Bananas have lots of potassium, magnesium. If you find that you are cramping a lot, they are a great addition to your diet. I know you can always take a supplement, but isn't it great to try and just get it in naturally through a variety of foods that we eat? Fred is I'll take a break. Fred's having a blast. There are plenty of foods that have lots of magnesium, potassium. In fact, I'm sure avocados probably would help a lot as well. But I bet it's a lot easier, less expensive to go to the store and find a banana. That's what I'm all about. Shoulders down and back, belly in. Last time, let's do it. Great work. So if you're like me, we're not doing the heaviest of weights for this movement, but we're taking our time, and that time under tension is definitely challenging. I feel good about you feeling this tomorrow. Take a break. Oh, we did it. All right. So you might want to go to a slightly heavier weight if you have them for the next move. We got another standing move, and then we'll get to hit the floor. All right. We're going to hinge at the hips. Glutes gently go back behind you. The more that you are flat back, chest parallel to the floor, the more challenging you're going to feel a little bit more work, stretch into your hamstrings. It's also going to take a lot more core work to keep your back flat. So find the hinge that works for you. We're mostly still focusing on that upper back here with a row. Then your elbows are going to stay high, shoulder blades squeezing towards each other. One arm at a time is going to extend for a tricep extension, and then both arms extend before you lower back down out of your row and take a break. So still enjoying as much time under tension as possible. I'm going to start with a slightly heavier weight. Maybe I'll switch it up each round. Just a thought. All right, in 3, 2, 1, begin. Why might I use a lighter weight? You might say, if I can do this heavier weight. Remember, we're getting a single, and then a double. Can you switch which arm you started with as you go for those singles? I might go for a slightly lighter weight so that I can be a little bit more engaged up here in the portion of the row. Can I do these 8s? Yes, absolutely. But I might be able to just squeeze a little bit tighter, have slightly better form while using those 5s. Take a break. So I'm going to try that for this next round, just see how it feels, because we got a total of 4 rounds, remember, to mix it up. In 3, 2, 1, begin. So with this lighter weight, also, I might take a little bit more of a hinge at the hips, get a little bit more of that stretch into the hamstrings, which might not have been possible with the 8s. Make sure you're still drawing that lower belly in. And if you need to, you can always stand up also as you take the break between each round. Get a little bit of a Romanian deadlift, just painting up your thighs, and then hinging at the hips, sending glutes back. Yeah, both arms. Take a break. Awesome. All right, I'm going to go back to those 8s. 2 more rounds through, then we get to hit the floor for some planks, push-ups with stability challenge. 3, 2, 1, begin. So this is a great workout to really put on some music that you like to stay energized right here, to stay focused during these longer intervals. Keep that nice long neck. And bring your attention back to that knit rib cage. Take a break, especially since we're holding those elbows up high. Easy potential for there to be a lot of flare out. So it's up to you to keep things closed on the front side. One more time through, one more time to try it. 3, 2, 1. Find your hinge and begin. Take some notice right now also, like what's happening with your feet. Are you equally applying pressure throughout all 4 corners? Are you rotating towards the inside or the outside? of the soles of your feet. It's going to come into play a little bit. 2 moves down the line. Awesome. Go ahead, put your weights down. We're going to make our way to the floor for our push-ups. I'm going to put my weights out of the way. I do not intend to use them for the rest of the workout. I will use this band. In fact, if you have a band, let's get a little extra challenge in. You can use it for this and the next move. So I'm just going to put it around upper thighs right now. Okay. So next up, we've got push-ups. We've got push-ups, and we're going to change where our instability comes in each push-up. Now, if you've joined me before, you know that I'm not the best at push-ups. They are not my jam. I am working on them. We are also working on them together. I'd like to just take my push-up right here from tabletop. You can step your knees back and take your push-up from your knees as long as you're still leading with your chest on the way down and nice and long and solid on the way back up. If you find that you lower down to the floor and then you're peeling up like you're doing the worm, you're losing something. So perhaps you join me right here in tabletop. I'm going to step my legs back each time that we have a plank move to get into that plank, but you can keep your knees on the floor, or you can always shift into that check mark if you're looking for a modification for the plank too. Okay, move number 1, 40 seconds, plank with alternating shoulder tap. As you tap those shoulders, try not to rock too much side to side. So it's a nice, slow, controlled movement, keeping your center engaged. Hips stay right down towards the floor. Did you like that break? I hope so. We start in 3, 2, 1 with your push up. So find that big push up. And then maybe you step your legs back into your plank. Feet wide is going to help with the balance right here. Hands, palms right underneath of chest. And then I'm just going to walk my knees in each time to get my tricep focused push up, and then step back and try not to rotate too much side to side with those shoulder taps. We've only got shoulder taps one time. We're going to change it up each time we come through on this push up plank round. Yay. All right, round 1 is done. Maybe shake your wrists out just a little bit. Next up, we're going to go for a little leg raise. Doesn't have to be very high, just lifting your toes up off of the floor. So using your glutes to make the motion happen in your plank. Ready? Start with your push-up right now. So with those legs step back, a little glute squeeze, lift of the foot, glute squeeze, lift of the foot, and then back into your push-up. Now, if you're really struggling here, you can always break the move down again, but I want you to do whichever move you think is harder. So if you're really good at push-ups, just continuing to do these push-ups is not going to make a big change. But if you really stink at keeping your hips even, take a break. You got to stink at something before you're really good at something, you know? So let's stink it up together. All right, this time back to a movement with the front side of the body. So you're going to just tap, find a spot to tap, reach your arm in front of you and go. So start with your push up, then into your form of a plank. Find your stability. Try not to rock too much side to side and find that controlled tap forward. So we're still trying to find those controlled, slower movements, because you have to stay engaged more if you're tapping out slowly, as opposed if you're tapping out real fast. Anyone can tap out real fast and get their hand back. Can you tap out slowly and still not let your hips rock? Take a break. All right, one last time through. Option for doing the most this last time, you can get a jack at the back. If you're not going for high impact, you can also step it out at the back, one leg at a time. All right, start with your push up in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. So finding that quality push up, whatever it looks like for you, into your plank, and then a little tappa, tappa, tappa at the back. So if you are wearing a band, getting a little extra work on those outer thighs right here. We're going to work them in our next move as well. Just about 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to finish out the movement. Awesome. And we're going to make our way to our feet. We're so close to being finished. Very exciting. Okay. So if you have a band, you didn't already put it around your thighs, now's the time to place your band around your thighs. We're going to squat and walk side to side. Think about using your space as much as possible. So maybe walking a little on the diagonal if you have more space to walk diagonally than side to side. So weight's going to be in your heels. As you squat down, look at your feet. Make sure that your knees aren't turning out, that your toes aren't turning out. Everything is in a line. Hips on top of knees, on top of heels, chest is lifted. You can hold a weight if you want to, or you can hold weights by your side. I'm not going to. We're going to take as many steps as you can in one direction, just being even. So maybe it's 2, 3, 5, and then you're going to press all the way up onto your toes, get a little calf stretch, sit yourself back down low, keeping your hips low, walk side to side, calf stretch up the top. Let's start in 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. So nice and low. Each time you step out, look at your feet, especially like round one, especially if you know you have that tendency to turn your feet out or to take a rotation of your thighs. That's what we're helping to work on here with this lateral side walking. Oops. And getting that nice little balanced calf raise at the back also. By the back, I mean the end of your space. All right, take a break. So obviously this one is rife for making it more challenging. Maybe you want to add a hop at the end. Instead of just pressing up onto your toes, you can take a nice controlled little jump. Round 2 in 3, 2, 1. Hips back. Here we go. So finding your steps side to side, maybe a nice controlled little hop, and then right back to your side to side. So it takes a bit of practice, but if you're really engaging all of your muscles, you can actually be quite quiet. Even with this hop, there's a big difference between jumping with control, take a break, and just like letting your body slam down towards the floor. Fred, are you having a good time over there? Fred's having a great time over there, everyone. All right, 2 more times through. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to use my space a little bit more, get a couple more steps in. As you can see, I stayed as low as possible the whole time I'm stepping over. I'm not stepping and letting myself come up each time, keeping hips low the whole time, keeping that drive towards the back of the room. Oh, take a break. Wow, are you feeling that? I hope so. I know I'm feeling it. We got one more round through. We get to lay down on the floor. In 3, 2, 1. Get this last round of lateral squats. Optional hop, or you can still be enjoying that calf raise. Look at this. This is a good one. You can hang out with your friends. We can be spilling some tea. Like, what are you streaming these days? Are you watching anything good on television? Have you read any great books? Are you super excited about any fall activities or recipes? Oh, we made it. Okay. Last move. I'm going to take this band off. We're going to lay down on the floor. We're going to get a lower body focused ab move. Then we're going to add in that upper body if you can. All right. The great news is this one includes a bit of a stretch. Fred, I'd love if you filled out. All right. So come into a figure 4 stretch right here. You can do whatever feels good with your arms. More of a challenge is going to be arms further away from the center line of your body. A little bit of assistance can be arms down by your side, close in towards your glutes. All right, we're going to lift the leg up off of the floor and then just tap it right back down. You can keep things easy by keeping your head on the floor. You can make things a little bit more challenging by creating a C curve in your spine and lifting shoulders up off of the mat. All right, we start in 3, 2, 1. Begin. So lifting up, maybe you even lower down. Perhaps you even stay right here, keeping that engagement through the upper core and just lowering your legs out. A little bit more challenging. You can do this same thing, either just kicking your leg up at the top and then bringing it back down, or nice straight leg down and up. Yeah, that's right. We're going to add even more upper body into this on the next round. So if you want to keep it, take a break. A little smaller for that first round, that's okay. This time, arms are going to extend all the way up overhead, encouraging you to try this straight leg. Arms are going to reach down towards the floor as that leg extends towards the ceiling. You can still tap down with it bent if you need to. Just find this reach with your hands. Let's go. So easier option. Arms are in our like old school, late 90s ab machine, like ab rocker. And legs are pretty much doing the same thing they did a moment ago. So you're still just enjoying that figure 4. I'm encouraging you to straighten your leg up at the top. If you need to, you can still just have that tap and lift. And just these arms are going to make it a little bit more challenging. Word. Uncross your legs, windshield wipe for a couple breaths, and then let's get into the setup for the opposite side. So cross your other ankle over your thigh. Arms can be wherever you want them for. For round 1, we're focusing on the legs mostly. Ready? So finding that lift, maybe you're lifting upper body and lower. Maybe you're staying lifted with your upper body. A little extra challenge for those upper abs. Lifting that leg with the lower ab. Remember, you can kick and tap down. You can keep that straight leg and tap down. Still going to feel like a slightly different crunch when we add that straight arm lat pullover into our big total body reach. Woo, my lower abs are saying hello. Oh my gosh, take a break. Take a break. Last move, last move. We got less than a minute to go of work. I'm going to encourage you to stay for an extra minute to stretch it out. Are you worth it? You best have said yes at home because that is the answer. All right, so everything is straight. Here we go. If you can, everything is straight. But remember, if you need to take that modification, if you still want to have your knee bent the whole time, if you want to go from knee bent to the straight leg, and then working towards the idea of keeping your lower back on the floor while you're finding this big leg lift and lower. And it doesn't happen overnight, so work your way up to it. Be smart for your body today so that you can be here and challenge your body tomorrow. That's what it's all about. Almost, almost. You did it. Yay. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Realign your spine on the mat. Stretch your elbows down towards your hips. Tuck your chin to your chest, but keep the back of your head down on the mat. Create as much length as you can from the crown of your head down to your tailbone. Elbows stretching down towards your heels can give you a nice little stretch on your chest. One more big inhale. Exhale, release your feet down towards the floor. Lift your hips, move them to the left side of the mat. Open your feet mat's width distance apart and drop your knees over to the right. We're going to emphasize the stretch throughout the left side hip. If you can, lift your right ankle and cross it over the left. So we're getting a little spine twist. We're getting a little extra love into the psoas, into the side oblique. And you look in the opposite direction that your knees are pointing. Give yourself a gentle stretch in your neck. One more inhale. If you were able to cross your thigh over, right ankle over your left thigh, wow. Uncross them. Send your legs back up towards the ceiling. Quick little windshield wipe and then press into your feet. Shift your hips over to the right side of the mat. With those feet still wide, allow your knees to drop down towards the side. Maybe this spine twist is all you can take today. But if you're close or if it feels good, left ankle crosses over right thigh and explore looking in the opposite direction of your knees. You can look at this beautiful plant I purchased this weekend. So beautiful. It's my favorite. Well, it's almost my favorite. It's a white bird of paradise. Technically, I'd have to say, like the yellow or the pink bird of paradise are my real favorite. But you're like cousins. It's good enough. It's like running into another American when you're out of the country. All right, go ahead, uncross your legs. Let's draw both knees together and come into the recovery position for a moment. And then roll yourself over into tabletop. Give yourself a couple cat cows. Maybe focus a little bit more on the separation of the shoulder blades and then the stretch of the chest towards your tricep, really working through that upper body because we already got a couple stretches through the lower body. Just one more time in each direction together. But remember, you can do this anytime during the day that feels right for you. Even with your hands out on your desk, taking a seated cat cow can be a great stretch for your back. Go ahead, tuck your toes under, send your hips up towards the ceiling, take a quick little pedal through your heels in your down dog to stretch out your calves. You worked them today, depending on if you went for that calf raise or maybe even a little bit more intensely using them to power yourself up for your jump. Walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands, taking as generous of a bend in your knees as you need. Relax your hairline down towards the floor. Shake your head yes, shake your head no, and then slowly rise all the way up. Stack your shoulders over your hips, your head over your heart. Inhale your arms up overhead. Look up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your glutes, push your hips forward. Little gentle back bend. Biceps can come closer towards your ears. Then stack everything together. Reach up once more from the waist and exhale. Relax your arms down by your side. Oh, feels so good to just melt your fingers down. Awesome. That's all I've got for you today. Can't wait to see you again on Wednesday for some core and stretch. As always, if you have a particular ache or pain or body part that you're looking to get some movement in, please feel free to comment or send me an email. And I'll make sure that that is in the class for you. Till I see you again, have a wonderful day.